welcome back to another episode of Cutthroat Casters. And today we're going to do a little bit of springtime trout fishing. Now today is probably the warmest day of the year so far. We might break the 50-degree mark. So it's still kind of cold, but the ice is melting, the snow is melting, runoff hasn't really hit full swing yet. So we're able to get on some fish while I can before the rivers get too high. Today we're going to be spin fishing, and I'm going to be using just a little Yo-Zuri jerkbait today, and we're going to see how that goes. The fish are starting to push up from the big lake we have out here, and we're starting to get some river run browns and some nice rainbows, so hopefully we can get on some good ones today and kind of make a day out of it. Let's get casting. I knew it was there. There we go. All right. So we just got our first fish of the day. That is a beautiful brown trout. Not crazy big, but a great start. We got those hooks out. I don't know, that's probably a 13.5, 14-inch brown trout. Not crazy big, like I said, but it's beautiful, and it's nice to be able to get that first fish out of the way. Skunks out of the group, so that's always a good feeling. But let's get this back in, and I'll talk a little bit about how I caught this guy. There he goes. So I caught him on this little 3.5-inch Yo-Zuri jerkbait. I get the floating ones because in the streams you can cast it, be able to jerk it a couple times, get it to look like a flashing or dying bait fish, and not have to worry about it diving into the bottom or suspending into some sort of laydown or whatnot. It's just what I prefer fishing streams. But I'm using my 7-foot Fenwick Trout Series rod. I think this is the HMX or HMG. I love these rods. It has a little too slow of action to be fishing jerk baits, but it's what I had on. I usually use this for spinners, but it does the job. I have that paired with a 2500 series Daiwa Tula. I love this reel. I use it for ice fishing. I use it for, catching bass, or even they work for trout too. So I love it. This Yo-Zuri did the job. And yeah, skunk's out of the group, and we're gonna see if we can't catch some more fish. Let's get to casting. All right, my buddy's got one. Looks like a pretty decent brown trout. There it is. All right. We got another one. Roughly about the same size, probably 14-inch brown trout. Nice fish. He's using the same thing I am, just a little smaller and a slightly different color. I'm using their baby shad imitation, and he's using their straight flash minnow imitation. Both of them are doing wonders today so far. 2 fish, and in a matter of 5 minutes, you can't complain. But we're gonna get him back in and get some more. Heck yeah. Already got another one. That's a beautiful fish. All right, that's a good fish. I mean, that's a 16.25, maybe 16.5 in the peak of the summer when they're eating all sorts of different things, but that's a solid fish. And there he goes. Back to where he came from. That was a good one.
He wiggled straight out of there.
They're slimy. Let's get casting. Okay, so this is day number 2. Yesterday the wind kind of got too crazy and out of hand. We have a front moving in today. As you can see, yesterday was a beautiful sunny day, and today it's pretty cloudy and it's a little chillier, but the wind is not as bad, and so we might actually have a better chance of, you know, being able to stay out here and actually catch some good fish. But we're at a pretty public spot today. There's a lot of fishermen that come here throughout the day, so it can be a little pressured, but I'll show you guys that with the right retrieve and the right lure, you can still catch a bunch of fish. So yeah, let's go get the springtime fishing extravaganza started. And day number 2, let's get it and let's start casting. There we go. There we go. Nice. That's the first fish of the day. That is our first beautiful little brown trout. He's probably only 12 and a half, 13 inches, but that color is amazing. And heck yeah, that was our first one. Get him back. See you, buddy. So yeah, I mean, first fish, first cast. I mean, you can still catch fish even though there's a lot of pressure at a certain spot. Honestly, 99% of the time I use 2 main retrieves when I'm fishing like a jerkbait style lure. And I like to do either a constant retrieve, a constant reel retrieve, and you know that can vary on the water temperature. If it's a little warmer, I'll kind of go, or like honestly, if the water is between like 45 and 55 degrees, I'll go like pretty fast in the constant retrieve. If the water is colder than 40 degrees, I like to kind of slow it down a little bit, because that means it's either like post front or it's windy. So a lot of times the fish will kind of move slower. And then once you go over about 55 degrees for trout, you want to start reeling a little bit slower too, because the water is getting hot. It's usually the middle of the summer, so a lot of times they'll be kind of dormant during the daytime. But the retrieve that's been working well for me is just pausing it. You know, I'll cast it out there, and I'll jerk it a couple times, and I'll give it a nice long pause. And sometimes that'll last from anywhere between like 2 to 5 seconds, depending on how deep the pool is. If it's deeper, I'll sometimes let it sit there for a little bit longer. But I'll kind of show you guys that in action. I'll cast it like just above like a deep pool. I'll reel in my slack a little bit, and I'll just give it a couple jerks and let it sit for a couple seconds. So a couple jerks, let it sit. A couple jerks, let it sit. And I'll do that all the way in. A lot of times, those fish that wouldn't normally kind of go after it if they're like hungry per se, it'll trigger a reaction right out of them. It'll trigger that instinctual aggression. And even a dormant fish, you can get that fish to come up from, you know, 4 or 5 feet of water, you know, pretty deep pools, to be able to smack that lure and catch them. There we go. You can see he came up and smacked it as soon as it hit the water. Another small brown, but man, they are beautiful. As soon as the ice melts and they start getting that sun on them, they kind of color out pretty quickly. Beautiful fish. Let's get him back. There he goes. Right from underneath that rock. We're not getting on the size today, but at least we're catching fish. That one's still about the same size, but that's number 3. We can't complain. The fish are biting, and it's the warmest day of the year so far, so it's a blessing to be out here. Let's keep casting. This is a better fish. Oh, this is actually a good fish. That is a beautiful brown trout. That's the size that we're kind of getting up to. That one's probably 16 and a half or so. Nice chubby fish. The choppers on that guy are crazy. Springtime fishing, these guys are chasing those minnows around like absolute bandits. This guy fell victim to that Yozuri. Let's get him back. See you, buddy. Little guy, but he's a fighter. That's a good fish. This one feels better. I think it's probably 16 and a quarter, 16 and a half, same as that last one. There he goes. Easiest catch and release ever. This one feels smaller. Yep. Back down to that first size we were catching. There's a whole lot of these 1.5-year fish in here. Just a little brown. Let's get him back. Here he is. Another little guy. There he goes. Easy peasy. I gotta be honest, my arms getting kind of tired. There's a ton of these fish in here, these little ones. It's another little brown, beautiful fish. Same year class, but hopefully we can start catching some bigger ones here soon. But for now, let's keep casting. Just hooked up with this guy. It feels really good. Look at that. That right there is a beauty. The colors on this fish are incredible. I believe this is a German brown, if I'm not mistaken. And we have two strains. We have the Spanish brown and the German bear brown in these streams. But this right here is pretty. You can see the accented red dots with that blue. It's beautiful. That's a nice fish, probably 15 and a half, 16 inches or so. Let's get him back in the water. See you, buddy. This is gonna be a fish right here. You guys ready? This is a fish. Oh gosh, he's digging. What did I tell you guys, huh? It's that easy, I guess. I don't know. It's a beautiful fish too. Oh yeah. Look at how pretty this one is. That right there is a little bit more what we're after. That one's might be pushing 17. That's a beautiful brown. Hey, look at the colors on that guy. He is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous fish. Well, we got a pretty decent sized one, even though his tail's a little messed up, but we're gonna get him back in the water here. Heck yeah. But I mean, it's a beautiful day out. I'm just glad to be out here fishing. If you guys enjoyed the video, please comment down below. It really helps the channel. Leave a like and subscribe. If you guys want to see anything in particular, please just leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see. We're going to be doing a lot more of this open water fishing and stream fishing content. The lakes and rivers around here are just now starting to unthaw. So hopefully soon we'll be getting some boating content going. And yeah, a whole lot of creek and river fishing. But yeah, if you guys like the video, subscribe and leave a like, comment what your favorite part was. And yeah, as always, I'll leave kind of what I'm using and tips and tricks down in the description below. But yeah, I think I might do a little more fishing. But just in case this is the last you see of me, keep casting, and thanks for watching.